Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys had a great first 2 days of the play-in. If you don't know who I am, my name is Chuck. I make videos for NBA. I also do a bunch of other content in my Discord. You can find my posts on this Reddit right here called DF Sports. I make updates with news that comes out. Gobert news is going to be very, very important tomorrow. That's going to change the entire slate. And then you can talk strategy here, ask people questions. You can ask me questions. I'll always respond to you. So great place to check that out. And then if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can do so on Twitter at Tory Langley 1992. So let's go over my lineup from yesterday. Another really, really good day. So starting off the playoffs very, very well. Like last year. A nice $500 win on the first play-in slate, $200 yesterday. So it's been insane. Also, how did the Yakapurtle faders know that he would go for 23 fantasy points in 37 minutes? But you can see my lineup was Jay Ritz, Levine, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, Jacques Pirtle, Gary Trent, Lou Dort, Nikola Vucevic. My core sucked. The core that I had was Josh Richardson. He was great. Zach LaVine was a smash, but I also had Gary Trent as a core play, and I also had Jakob Poeltl as a core play. The Jakob Poeltl stuff was just 40 minutes at 5'7", 23. That's just insane to me. But all right, if you are interested in joining Discord, I'll have a link to that below where I have in-depth content going over each slate, player pools for cash and GPPs, cores for cash and GPPs. I also do XFL content. We have people doing MLB stuff, PGA. We pretty much play basically everything. Link to that will be down below. All right, let's go over this two-game slate. I am going to do my best to try and break this down for you and what I think the rotations are going to be. Let me show my door. I'm going to do my best for you guys because there is some stuff up in the air, and that will be the Miami Heat that we need to talk about, and possibly, obviously, Minnesota with the Gobert news. But let's start off with Chicago. So obviously, this is the most unappealing game on the slate. Obviously, the OKC Minnesota game is definitely much, much better to target as far as pace, defense, etc. But don't count this game out. I feel like this game is going to be under-owned than it should be. So I think this is a good game to target for GPPs, but obviously it does look worse than this OKC game. So let's go over the slate. So obviously, like I said, you're going to see as many minutes as you can handle from the main guys. So Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, I expect them to all to play 40 plus. They're all still too cheap. I don't care that the matchup's bad. I think all three look good here once again. Zach LaVine had the massive game last game, so I expect him to get the most ownership. He also has shooting guard, shooting forward eligibility. That's another reason why he's probably going to get the most ownership. In that case, I'd much rather just go to DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, if that is the case where he just gets more ownership. Now, if they're all similar, then yeah, I think LaVine's the best play from the three if you don't consider ownership. But I like all three here once again. If I had to rank them disregarding ownership, LaVine 1, Vooch 2, DeMar 3, but you could flip-flop them all. I think all three look good, but not the best matchup, which is fine. So, yeah, DeMar had the bad game this game, which he's going to be the lowest owned of the three. Vooch had the okay game. I expect him to get, like, the second most ownership. Zach LaVine had the massive game. He's just going to be much more popular than everyone. I think all three look similar to me. One of them could have a huge game. I would not be shocked if it's DeMar or Vooch. One of them could have a bad game. I would not be shocked if it's LaVine. So I like all three. I would just suggest going to the lowest owned one. Alex Caruso, Kobe White. So these two kind of look pretty similar to me. Caruso got a huge price jump up to 5K. Played 31 minutes, which is good to see, but had 3 blocks, 3 steals. That's definitely an outlier. I don't know if I can personally pay 5K for Caruso, but he does seem like a pretty safe play to me. I expect similar minutes for him. I think I prefer Kobe White to Caruso. Just give me, he's such a better point per minute guy than Caruso is. Just give me 5 less minutes of Kobe White over Caruso, and a cheaper price if he's just going to be much more productive than Caruso is. I know he had the worst game last game, but Yeah, I think I do prefer White to Caruso, but both are playable. I wish both were a little bit cheaper. Patrick Williams only played 25 minutes. I think we get similar minutes from him again, which makes him a bit overpriced to me, but another option that is just playable. If like guys on these playoff slates, if you get like 25 fantasy points, 25 fantasy points from like your 5K guys and below, you're going to be absolutely ecstatic. So they are in play. They are a bit overpriced, but I think they're all fine. Patrick Beverly at 4-3. I think we get mid 20s minutes from him again. Got to kind of stuff the stat sheet. Good defender. Get those steals and stuff like that. I think he's fine for value. Doesn't stand out, but another playable option. There's like no value on this slate. So yeah, let's go over Miami. So Butler's gonna play. Lowry's gonna play. They're all gonna play. But we did get news that Eric Spoelstra might change up the starting lineup, and they're going to change up the rotation. So I don't know what that means, but I do know that these main four guys in Lowry, Harrow, Bam, and Butler are all going to play decent minutes. Kyle Lowry probably doesn't play as much, but Harrow, Bam, Butler, they're all going to play all the minutes they can handle here. I expect 40 plus minutes from both. I don't even think Kevin Love or Cody Zeller play in this game. I think you're just going to see Bam play like 42, 43, 44 minutes, and then they go small at the 5. Obviously, Bam's undersized, but they'll go even smaller at the 5 when he's not out there. So I don't think you see Love. I don't think you see Zeller. I don't even think you see Oladipo in this game. We'll see. He could play. But let's talk about Butler, Bam, Harrow. Not the best matchup. Like I said, this game does look unappealing to me. But Butler, Bam, Harrow, I think they all look solid, kind of like those Chicago guys. I think paying up to be contrarian on this slate is going to be good. Everyone just goes to mid-range in the playoffs. That's why you saw I went to low on Brandon Ingram yesterday. That worked out massively. And taking shots on like value plays that aren't getting ownership, as you saw 2 days ago, NAW was in my lineup. That worked out massively. I'm not saying to do that, but that's a good way to get different on these slates. So Jimmy Butler at the top, 9K. I expect must-win game here. I expect over 40 minutes for him. Shot the ball 6 of 19 last game. Had a pretty bad game, if you ask me. I still think he looks solid here. Once again, I don't know how I'd rank him compared to like Anthony Edwards, possibly with no Gobert, the Chicago guys, etc. I think they all look good. Bam Adebayo I do like quite a bit. At 7-6, I just expect him to play all the minutes he can handle here. Good rebounder, good defender. I expect just a ton of work for Bam Adebayo. I really like Bam. I think Harold looks good. You're going to be, like I said, mid-range. Everyone's going to go to mid-range, which it's optimal to go to mid-range on the slate. Tyler Harrow got into foul trouble. I expect over 40 minutes from him. I also think he looks like a pretty good play to me. Kyle Lowry at 5-6. I think the price is warranted. You could even see him start in this game, and if we're going to continue to get over 30 minutes from Kyle Lowry, I still think he's a solid play, even at 5,600. Now, Gabe Vincent, going to the bench, I have no idea what they're going to do. I really don't. I think there's a possible chance you see Duncan Robinson in the rotation. I think there's a chance you don't see Love or Cody Zeller in this rotation. I think the main benefit of Eric Spoelstra changing his lineup and rotation is going to be Kyle Lowry and Caleb Martin. Those are the two that I feel the best about. And then I think there's a chance Duncan Robinson would be in the rotation, but that's just a guess. So Gabe Vincent, I'm not as high on. I'd much rather just go to Kyle Lowry. I think he gets his minutes a little bit cut here. Only played 24 minutes too, with Kyle Lowry getting injured in the first half and gained a couple minutes there. So I don't like Gabe Vincent at all. Max Strus played horrible. I'd be cautionary to go there as well. I'm just going to stay away from these guys. The one guy that, like I said, I do feel the most confident in is Kyle Lowry and Caleb Martin. I think if I were to go to anyone of this grouping of players would be Caleb Martin, who I think is fine, but I'm just going to stay away from everyone else and just focus on Butler, Bam, Harrell, Lowry, and then Caleb Martin. OKC. So you saw a very tight rotation, which I expected. Must-win games. Everyone's going to play as many minutes as they can handle. Like I said earlier, paying up to be contrarian is good in the playoffs. Everyone goes mid-range. If you get like a 70 bomb from SGA, you are just from a low-owned SGA, you are just well have an edge on the field. So I think SGA is a very good play just because I don't think anyone's going to play him. It's going to be hard to get to him, especially with no value. Like I said, I'm not saying to do this, but I think it's a good way to get different. But I expect 40 plus minutes from him. I expect him to run this offense, pretty much do absolutely everything. He still had a good game with Josh Giddey basically going for a 30-point triple-double and shooting 11 of 22. So I like SGA. I think he looks good. Josh Giddey at 8-9, I still think is fine. Played over 40 minutes. Going to stuff the stat sheet, do everything. I have a bit of a harder time paying 9K for Josh Giddey than I do paying that price for SGA, but I think he's in play. I really like Jalen Williams. Played over 40 minutes, had a terrible shooting game. I think Jalen Williams is the slow-mo of 2 nights ago where I just jammed in, unowned slow-mo. He nuked. I think Jalen Williams, obviously it's a different play. I think he's that night where I don't think anyone's going to play Jalen Williams here. I really like him at 6'4". If he plays over 40 minutes again, which I think he will, averages over a finish point per minute, yeah, no one's going to play him. I really like him. I think Lou Dort looks very good at 5'9". I know it's sick paying this price tag, but you're going to want to live in this range. Played 36 minutes. Good defender. Going to chuck the ball when he's out there. I don't see what's not to like him. Not to like about him. So, for really like Jalen, I think Dort's good. And then I mentioned in my previous video, if you thought Jalen Williams played over 25 minutes, I thought he was one of the best value plays on the slate. He absolutely nuked. So, yeah. If we continue to get over 30 minutes from Jalen Williams, I really like him for value. There is a risk with foul trouble going up against Cat, Gobert, etc. But really like Jalen Williams. So, you didn't see JRE, you didn't see Sar. You saw Sarge get the backup 5. If we get 11 minutes from Sarge again, I think he's playable. And then in the off chance that like Jalen Williams gets into foul trouble and Sarge gets extended, he could have a very good game at this price tag. So I definitely have some interest in Darius Sarge tomorrow. And then I'm not going to be getting to any. Oh, Isaiah Joe at 4-2. Got benched because he wasn't playing well. Also the tight rotation, but another guy that if he's playing well could get extended. So I think after burning everyone as chalk yesterday, I think he's a good bounce back candidate for GPPs. On to Minnesota. So the big news here is going to be Rudy Gobert. This changes the entire slate. If Rudy Gobert is in, then it just downgrades everyone. I still think Ant would be a solid play. I still think Cat would definitely be a downgrade, but playable. Rudy Gobert himself in a really good matchup, I do like. Kyle Anderson at 7-4, I think I'd just fade. I think that price with Gobert back is a bit much. Also, I don't know if they go to Prince in the starting lineup or Slow-Mo. I know previously they were going with Prince, but that could change. I'd feel better about who starts. But it's just a downgrade to everyone. Like, the really only guys that I would consider with Gobert in would be Ant, Cat, Gobert himself, Prince possibly, and then I'm not going to anyone on the bench, and then possibly Kyle Anderson, but downgrades, like I said. And then Mike Conley I still think would be, like, pretty safe. So that's the breakdown if Gobert is in. Those are the only guys I'm considering. No standouts on this team if he's in. But if he's out again, I absolutely love Anthony Edwards. I think Karl Anthony Towns looks like one of the best plays on the slate. I really like Kyle Anderson. I think Taurean Prince at 5'2 looks like one of the best mid-range plays on the slate. I would absolutely love him. I think NAW gets similar run of like 20 plus minutes. I think he would be a good value. You didn't see Knight. I wouldn't go there. You only saw a few minutes for Noel. It'd be hard for me to go there. McLaughlin played horrible. Only played 10 minutes. Wouldn't go there. So I would really like Ant, really like Cat, really like Slow-Mo, really like Prince. Conley would be solid, and I think NAW would be okay for value. So this Gobert news is absolutely massive. It's going to change the entire slate. Make sure you keep an eye on it. It's huge. So hope this video helped you guys out. Discord link will be down below where I have in-depth videos, stuff like that in course. So I'll talk to y'all later.